Hi, I'm Jett Kuso, and today we're taking a look at the Today we're taking a look at the new light up Bakugan. Just to prepare you for what's coming, the Genesis Bakugan seems straightforward at a glance, so you might watch a few minutes and say, okay, I think I get it, but trust me, it only gets weirder and weirder the deeper down this rabbit hole we get. But if you're watching my videos, that tells me you probably enjoy watching things. And you probably don't like being limited in what you can watch by jerks and posers who tell you that you can't watch Japan's version of Netflix with all the Japanese shows that you can't watch here. Well, with this video's sponsor, NordVPN, you can access online content from anywhere in the world virtually. With just one click, you can make the internet think that your computer is in Japan or Canada, the US, the UK, or anywhere else in the world, so you can access your favorite shows and movies with no location-based limits, like Spider-Man and anime. With NordVPN, you can buy and play video games that are only available in other countries by easily changing your virtual location, all while protecting yourself from malware like virtual attacks and DDoSing. Also, sometimes games and streaming services are cheaper in other countries, so like, you know, wink wink. Anyway, NordVPN is the world's leading VPN service with a stupid amount of anti-malware and cybersecurity features that I can only touch on a few of. But with my URL, nordvpn.com/JettKuso, you can get 4 months free and a huge discount with a 2-year plan. So click that link in the description now to try NordVPN for yourself and start browsing the World Wide Web with true freedom. That's nordvpn.com/JettKuso. Maxis Dragonoid, Dragonoid Colossus, Dragonoid Destroyer, Dragonoid Maximus, Infinity Dragonoid, Geoforge Dragonoid, Beyblade Dragonoid, Boba Dragonoid, Sassy Pirate Dragonoid. The slate of Capstone Dragonoid toys, from the Legacy through to the reboot, is a complicated, chunky ooze of good product design, bad product design, and utterly irrelevant to what the people want product design. Usually a big action figure, sometimes a bunch of little Bakugan that turn into a big action figure. Someday I'll deep dive into these and compare them all, but I wanted to show them in this video because this year's Capstone toy is very different.
From the world of Bakugan, new Genesis Collection Bakugan. For the first time ever, epic new Bakugan light up the battle. Transform and light up. Which score will you get? It's everything you need to battle, all in one collection. New Genesis Collection, available at Target now.
The Genesis Collection. 6 exclusive Bakugan and 2 Nanogon, packaged together and distributed so broadly that you'll probably find one creeping outside your windows at night if you haven't bought it already. The 4 normal Bakugan and the 2 Nanogon are neat. Main character Bakugan in new shapes from the show, and Nanogon with diamond coloration for the first time. But they're all pretty much irrelevant to this video, so... What really makes this collection what it is are these, the first 2 light-up Bakugan from the reboot. Genesis Wrath and Genesis Dragonoid, or as I like to call it, Pride Dragonoid. Functionally, they're exactly the same, but they've got different looks and opposite stat blocks. Clear and gold when closed, but when they stand, they come alive with a flashing roulette of faction colors. We'll look at the roulette function in a minute, but first I want to ask how they might compare to Legacy light-up Bakugan. Lumitroid has not only a crazy flashing light, but also heckin' laser sounds. Oh crap, man. Oh jeez. Sir, calm down, this is a Wendy's. And now I list some things. Lumitroid, Glotronoid, Apexion, Volt Elyzoid, and Iriska were light-up Bakugan labeled Baku Bolt in Gundalian Invaders. Only Apexion and Lumitroid have sounds, whereas the rest are notably mute. They have no mouths, yet they must scream! Genesis Bakugan don't have any sound effects either, but neither did Moonlit Monorist, the very first electronic Bakugan. Flare Wilda was supposed to come out alongside Moonlit, but you know, canned. Personally, I was never sold on gimmicks like this when I was a kid. Somehow, I was more cynical back then than I am now. I kind of always thought the electronics forced the Bakugan to be so round and ugly to accommodate all the stuff inside. But now I've cast aside my unhealthy Hollywood beauty standards and I can see these thick kings in a new light. But anyway, modern technology and B3 sizing has not only allowed Genesis Drago and Wrath to be more streamlined, but the color changing LED is what makes them truly special. Every time one opens, a randomized sequence of lights flares out. Each light represents one of the 6 factions, and whichever color it lands on is the Bakugan's faction for that turn. It's frickin' sick. It's like the little Bean Boozled jelly bean game. Few previous Bakugan gimmicks have affected the gameplay this much. The only equivalent would be the old attribute change wheel Bakugan like Preus, but Preus's wheel could only display 3 factions. The mechanical quality has always been pretty cool though. G-Power change wheels just are not as cool as faction change wheels. That being said, I do think something with B-Power randomization would still be hella neat to see in the reboot, especially for melee battling. Speaking of the excellent fan format Bakugan Melee, link to the rule sheet in the description, Genesis Bakugan are totally normal feeling in terms of construction. Normal weight, normal balance, normal rolling. You can crit KO with one just fine. They don't have any advantages in that regard, you just technically can. On top of all of that, the randomization makes things quite neat and unpredictable. Oh, but Jett Kuso, how do they work in the TCG? I don't know, okay? I don't know. There's no new TCG stuff coming out right now, so there's no official rulings for gameplay or deck building. We know nothing! We get nothing! You lose! Watch how the mind spins and writhes to grapple with that it cannot comprehend. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. This is about a children's card game. This is about children's card games. There was an interview with Michael Lee, one of the main toy designers, for a blog that mentions the faction roulette design.
The latest Bakugan Evolutions range includes a light-up function. How tough was it to incorporate that, and what do you think it adds to the experience?
Bakugan Evolutions focuses on harnessing the power of each of the respective factions, but what's better than one faction when you're able to tap into all 6 of them? This is exactly what we did when designing our Genesis Collection set. Both the exclusive Genesis Dragonoid and Genesis Wrath feature a multicolor LED in their chest that pulsates through all 6 faction colors when the Bakugan opens. The LED will also randomly stop on a different color each time, identifying the faction they're harnessing that turn. This brings a whole new level to the toy and battling experience for kids, with both multicolored light effects as well as all faction powers.
So that's the only way we know that's what that is, but it's not really in depth in terms of TCG. Our other hint comes from Prisma Dragonoid. Prisma shares a symbol with the Genesis Bakugan, all labeled all faction. And thankfully we do have a rule for Prisma Dragonoid that may count for all faction Bakugan, thanks to Toolbox 24 and Gary Arendt.
A new rarity has been introduced in the toy line called Evo Rare, which claims to be all factions. Does this have any effect in the TCG? And if so, how does it work?
In the TCG, an all-faction character can be played as any one faction. This means if a player claims it as a Ventus, they can include Ventus cards in their deck, and cards that affect Ventus characters will apply. You can also use those Bakugan in any other decks as any other faction.
Right, so is that the Prisma rules or the all-encompassing all-faction rules? Are there different rules for the Genesis Bakugan than there are for the Prisma Bakugan? Or is the stuff discussed earlier only for the toy battling game, and in the TCG everything uses the Prisma rules? So making the faction roulette completely non-existent in the TCG. And how does this interact? No, we're not doing that. I could do the thing where I list all the questions, but screw that, I don't know! It's not like there's organized play right now, and fan tournaments use ban lists and house rules already, so do we really need to know the official rulings when the TCG isn't getting support? Don't get me wrong, the TCG should be getting support. If I had my way, we'd be putting out multiple sets a year. I'm not gonna get hung up on TCG rules when, really, if you're still playing the TCG at this point, just make something up that you and your friends enjoy. The way I rule it is that you follow Prisma rules for deck building, and then in-game you follow the roulette rules for each turn. Seems pretty simple to me, I don't know. And I guess for stuff like Nature's Power, whenever it isn't in battle, it acts as all factions at once, thus triggering those cards. I don't know exactly how it would interact with flips, but probably a similar way? I don't know. And I would appreciate it if you didn't ask me about it. Just post your own ideas in the comments, okay? And you guys can pick whichever one that you like best. Anyway, enough of all that nitty-gritty stuff. All I care about is shiny cardboard. Check it out. All of the character cards in the Genesis collection are basically one piece of art split up into 6 different CCs. Oh, look at that. Woof. Wowzers. Gee willikers. This lo-fi montage would be cooler if I wasn't saying stuff, wouldn't it? Also, oh geez, what else is in this thing? Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. Oh man. Here we go. It also comes with display stands. What the heck? You can put a Bakucore and the character card in them and connect them together to make a very neat Bakugan display. Aside from Ultras, Bakukores, and gameplay, this might actually be the first 100% original concept in the reboot. Bakugan has never put out any kind of display stand before, and now I'm really hoping for more products that come with these things, cause they're very neat. Speaking of the future, wouldn't it be cool to have more Bakugan with the gimmick that's featured in this year's boxed set? Whoa!
This is Bakugan, where the hit show comes to life. And introducing a new collection, 6 Geogun and a die-cast Dragonoid. Together, they form the most powerful Bakugan ever, Geoforged Dragonoid.
Level up with the Platinum Series. More powerful Bakugan made from true metal. There are tons of Bakugan you can collect. Platinum Bakugan, Arena, and other Bakugan each sold separately.
Whoa! Stupid, I hate this crap. Okay, so they did do Platinum Bakugan after Geoforged Dragonoid, but surely they wouldn't make more light-up Bakugan just like that. Well, hello there, my new best friends. Oh, Nova Bakugan are gonna be a topic for a later video next year when they actually come out, but man, I'm excited. I'm in love. So what do I actually think about these things? I've been pretty impartial and factual so far, but the time for that ends here. I love the Genesis Bakugan. I love the whole Genesis collection. I tossed away the other Bakugan earlier, but they're also really cool. Genesis Nilius might be my favorite Nilius design, both in the toy and in the anime. I know I like to call every new Nilius the best Nilius, but still, the Nanogon may have the same cards as the normal versions, but I like them as collectibles. I'm a collectible-y guy. They're all really neat, and all of them look better in person than they do in photos. They're truly the icing on the cake to the Genesis Bakugan themselves. In terms of design, Wrath is fine. It's okay. It's aight. I like it. It'd be really cool in a Damaged Winds deck especially, but Genesis Dragonoid is rad for a lot more reasons. Sharp head, bendy arms, big honkin' wings, and a good personality. Do you ever think about that, Jett Kuso? It's all about looks with you, isn't it? Last year, I said Geoforce Dragonoid was the best capstone product that they'd ever made. A bunch of real, usable Bakugan toys that turn into a big action figure is a lot better than just a big action figure. But maybe just a bunch of cool Bakugan is even better than that? The Genesis collection may not have the sort of cohesive star power that Geoforge did, but I don't know, man. The Genesis Bakugan themselves are stunning, even if the others are a teensy bit more random. They've done a lot of work to make this collection worth your purchase by giving it not only collector's value, but crazy play value. I am not a corporate shill. My opinions are my own. Remember when I was mean about Geogon that one time? Yeah, I'm legit. No, you can't buy my voice. Unless you're today's sponsor, NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/JettKuso for 4 months free and a discounted 2-year plan. Thanks, NordVPN. If you think Genesis Bakugan are cool, post in the comments, Genesis Bakugan are cool, Jett Kuso, exactly how you see it on the screen. Alternatively, you can post, I am not a corporate shill, Jett Kuso, if you aren't a corporate shill. This is Jett Kuso, and I'll see you next time. Massive special thanks to my Diamond patrons, Chell and new patron Immortal Blank, my Titan patrons, SheVitus, CO107, Skinny Chalk, VarronOoC, Big Chunka 69, MugwumpShadow, GUSANO, and new patrons JuicemanZYT and Knott. And of course, thanks to Gavin Greenlee, David, Bin Wang, Trouble, and Merrick, my hyper patrons. If you want to help support my channel, go to patreon.com/JettKuso.